Hey, this is a video for 4.6, Watersheds. So go ahead and check out the overview and set up your guided notes. So a watershed, simply put, it is the area that is drained by a river, or the area of land, sorry. And watersheds can vary in sizes. Now, the watershed is determined by the water flow because it is draining a particular area. And the flow rate is going to be dependent on the slope, the direction or the speed, and also the amount of vegetation, because there will be more infiltration in areas where there is more vegetation. If you notice in this diagram, the watershed, typically this represents like a mountain peak or a hill, another peak. So all of this water would drain into this major river. This would be the watershed. This area right here is representing the groundwater as well. It doesn't really look all that great, but you get the picture. Now, also, the land use can also indicate or alter the watershed because it can, the way we use the land can impact the amount of nutrients that we have in the runoff. Now, if we are using, for example, phosphorus or nitrogen, if we're using phosphorus and nitrogen-based synthetic fertilizers, that is going to lead to eutrophication. It can impact biodiversity because we may have more or less productivity, but also it can impact agriculture because we can use it for irrigation. One of the negative effects of using nutrients in the land or using synthetic fertilizers, that can also lead to eutrophication, which will eventually lead to hypoxia. Now, if we put a dam on the river, a dam also known as a water impoundment, if we put a dam on the water, that is going to slow the river flow, and there will be some little bits of the river trickling out after or underneath it or through it. That is usually controlled, and there will also be a lot of sediment buildup behind the dam. So there's going to be sediment, sand particles, soil particles in the river, suspended nutrients, undissolved solids, and that is going to flow with the water, and it's going to get blocked by that dam. So there will be a buildup of sediment behind the dam, and there will be less sediment flowing downstream from the dam. Now, our watersheds in the United States, these are areas where the Mississippi River will drain into the Gulf of Mexico. All of the water here will eventually drain into the South Atlantic. Over here, this will drain into the Gulf Coast. The Rio Grande, which is right along here, will drain out, or it drains to the Rio Grande. This will drain through the Colorado River out into the Pacific. This area is known as the Great Basin, and this is between mountain ranges. We will talk about this in a future video. But the Great Basin is a desert, and there actually is no watershed because there is no drainage in that area. It all evaporates. The area where I am from, this is drained through the Red River, and it actually unloads into Hudson Bay in Canada. So this area right here is known as the Continental Divide. And the Continental Divide, everything on the west side of this flows into the Pacific Ocean. Everything on the right side will eventually flow into the Atlantic Ocean. Now, what I would like you to do is respond to this check for understanding by completing practice problem set 4.6. I hope that this video is informative. I thank you for your attention, and I will see you soon.